Hello and welcome back to my channel, Making It Fabulous by Colleen. In today's video, I am going to put my market research skills to the test. Although I bring you a few videos each week about my love for makeup and skincare, I do have a day job. I am the CEO of More Research Services, and we are a market and opinion research company that finds out how people think and feel about different products and services. We work with a variety of different companies, everything from startup to Fortune 500 and really everything in between. But our research gathers opinions from people all over the US and globally to take part in our studies. So we conduct several different types of projects, everything from online surveys and focus groups to in-home product testing. So as an example of just one of the many methods that we often conduct is home use product testing. So we would ask you qualifying questions via an online survey. We would call to verify the information, ship you a product, ask you to use that product for a certain number of days or weeks, and then ask you to rate the product on several different attributes regarding its performance, and those kind of things. And after you've completed all of those steps, we send you an electronic gift card for participation. So in this video, I'm going to simplify the process a whole bunch, just so you kind of get the idea. During this video, I am going to be showing you 3 branded foundations that are from the drugstore. They provide similar coverage, of course, they're similar shades. So during a test for more research, all of the products would be blinded, similar to these bottles. But before we get started, I'm going to share the 3 foundations that I am going to be trying in this test. And this, again, is only an example. I am in no way saying that the products that I am showing you in this video are manufacturers that we work for at More Research. This is just an example. So the first day, I am going to be using the Revlon Luminous Foundation. The second day, I am going to be using L'Oreal True Match. And finally, on the third day, I am going to be using Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. So prior to the application of each of these products, I am going to be prepping my skin the exact same way. I'm going to start with the Rose Water and Glycerin Mist. I am going to use the Naturium Moisturizer. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Whoa Glow Primer. All of these products I have used before, I like, and I know they work really well underneath my makeup. I'm also going to be setting these foundations with the exact same products, and I'll share a little bit more about that as we get into the first video. So after each foundation, I will rate the product after initial use and then after 8 hours of wear. So I'll do it both times on a scale of 1 to 10, and then out of all 3, after the third day, I will select which one I liked the best. And all of the products that I will be using and trying in this video will be linked below, as well as how you can become a product tester for More Research. So what do you say? Are you interested in learning about my opinion of these 3 foundations? Maybe a way that you can share opinions about products and services that you use every day, as well as make a little extra money at the same time. Let's get started. So I have all of my products on, my moisturizer, my primer, and I have let them set in. And now I'm gonna go in with the first product. As I mentioned to you, this is made by Revlon. It is Revlon Luminous Skin Caring Foundation. And let me tell you a little bit about it. So it says that radiance is boosted. I'm gonna put 2 pumps on the back of my hand. The appearance of fine lines and wrinkles is reduced in 4 weeks. So if we were doing a study like this, obviously we would have our consumers use it for 4 weeks and ask them questions after that usage period about their fine lines and wrinkles. It provides a medium coverage. I'm just going to use my fingers, again, using the same exact application method on all of these. This product is available in 28 shades, and this might be a little on the light side for me, but I can make it work. I still have quite a bit left on the back of my hand, and I want, again, to measure it out exactly the same. So each of these products are getting the exact same chance to perform one way or another. So again, using my fingers, and usually I don't like to put too much right underneath my eyes because I will put a little bit of concealer on, but that kind of, you can see it's maybe a little bit light for me. Comes in 28 shades, and in fact, I do have it in 2 shades, and I think I was using the wrong one today, but it doesn't matter. The formula is the same. So again, just have a little bit left on the back, and I'm going to use a sponge to just press it into the areas that I want to make sure I have good coverage. These areas right here are typically where my foundation will settle in. So we'll see how this works. But I am going to use the Wet n Wild Incognito Concealer. And again, I am going to put it on the back of my hand so that just 2 little dabs of that. And I'm going to put it on with my ring finger. I just need a little bit. I don't want too much. Put it on my eyelids. And I'm gonna work that in with the same sponge that I'm using for the concealer. I don't want to put too much on, but I do have things to hide. So have you guys ever done any studies for more research? Leave a comment below. Let me know how you liked it and what study you did for us. As I mentioned earlier, most of the time we cannot disclose. So there are times when we do, specifically when we're doing like maybe online focus groups or something like that, where at the end we want to get your feedback about a particular service or who our client is. So oftentimes during focus groups we might, sometimes during taste tests, those kind of things. So, okay, now I've got that pretty well into my skin. Before I rate it, I am going to set it. And the reason I like to do that is because usually when you first apply it, it might be sinking into your fine lines and wrinkles a little bit. And it could be because of the moisturizer. So far, so good, but it could be because I keep tapping it in. So I am, before I put on any other products, I am going to go in with the Huda Beauty setting powder. I want to make sure that I'm using products that I know and I trust that do a really good job. So I'm just gonna dab in there a pretty decent amount, and I'm just going to set my face primarily in this T-zone where I usually get that settling, but I'm also gonna put it all over the face. I'm going to be using all powder products today. I'm not going to be using any liquid, for instance, a liquid blush or a liquid bronzer. I'm going to use the same powder products. Okay. What do you think? So far, so good. L'Oreal Infallible Bronzer. And this product, again, is one of my very, very favorites. I love this bronzer. It's so easy to apply. It's one of those no fails. Like, it's not too much product, it's just enough. So I'm gonna put a little up here, and of course on my cheeks. And then finally, I'm going to go in with the Revlon. This is 028 blush, and it's called Apricot. So I'm just gonna tap into there and go on the apples of my cheeks, and up I go. I want the two of these to blend in nicely, going over my nose. Okay. A setting spray. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter setting spray. That was 5 sprays. Let's remember that for tomorrow. Again, we want to make sure everything is equal. Okay, so I went off camera and I completed my makeup. So I am, now that I've given it a chance to sort of settle in, I am going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best. So it's not settled into my fine lines and wrinkles. Again, this is the area that typically will cause problems. Maybe a tiny bit here, but not too bad. I have blown my nose once or twice, and that's still looking pretty intact. So I am going to give this a solid 7. The coverage is good. I do feel like I wish the coverage might be just a little bit more, but if you like a light coverage, this is really quite nice. So again, a solid 7. Here we are after 8 hours of wear, and I have to say, it's not bad. It is a little bit sheer, so I would call this a light coverage, not necessarily medium as it claims to be. I also have it in shade 301, which is what I originally wanted to use because I think it's a little bit closer. I know it's a little bit closer to my skin tone, but I accidentally used the lighter shade, which was 205. And, you know, like I said, I like it. It has not, I have a 10 times mirror here. It did not settle into my fine lines and wrinkles. And I was out in the heat and humidity here in South Florida. So you can see that, you know, it did a pretty good job. So on the website, on Amazon, by the way, it is $12.12 on Amazon, and it is $17.99 at Ulta. So definitely, if you're going to consider this, get it on Amazon. That's a significant savings. But some of the claims that it makes reduces appearance of fine lines and wrinkles over time. So it had said in one claim that it was over 4 weeks. So it's a little hard to make that claim right now, but I would say it certainly didn't settle into them and it didn't accentuate them. It says that it provides a medium radiant finish. So again, I'm not sure that I would call it medium. It blurs imperfections. I think it might. Anything that doesn't crease, I'm gonna call a blur. So I feel like it did a pretty good job in terms of blurring. And like I said, it has 28 buildable shades. So if I use this again, I think that I would put the same amount of foundation that I had on, which was 2 pumps, and I would let it sink in and then maybe tap in just a little bit more of it so that I would get a little fuller coverage. I would say that this is a solid 7. I initially gave it a rating of a 7 after the initial impression, and I'm going to stick with my rating of a 7 after 8 hours. And primarily because it did not provide the coverage that I was hoping for, that medium coverage, but it did not settle into my fine lines and wrinkles. So I call that a real win if it doesn't settle in, especially in the heat of South Florida. So, like I said, I didn't touch this up at all over the last 8 hours, where normally I might put on a little bit more setting powder just because of the heat and humidity down here, but I didn't. Tomorrow we're going to try L'Oreal True Match, and that followed up by Maybelline Fit Me foundation. So see you soon. Okay, welcome to day 2. I have prepped my face with my setting mist, my moisturizer, and my primer. So I let that all kind of sink in a little bit, and now I'm gonna go in with the foundation that we're gonna be trying today, and it is the L'Oreal True Match. So this also provides medium coverage, just like the one we tried yesterday with the Revlon. I'm gonna give it 2 pumps, kind of squirted out on the back of my hand. And on Amazon, this sells for $9.97 versus at Ulta, it is $13.99. So just keep that in mind. I am in shade W4 and applying this with my fingers. You can see I took my nail polish off and cut them all back. Need to get a little bit of a shellac break. So I cut them all off. So I feel like this shade matches a little bit better for me than the Revlon yesterday. The Revlon was a little bit light, but I'm comparing formulas, not necessarily the color. So keeping that in mind. This says that the science that sees your true match. True Match foundation is formulated with 6 pigments for the most precise match. 99% of women found their true match in a consumer test of 312 women. It's available in 47 shades to match your undertone, cool, neutral, or warm. Makeup foundation, our liquid foundation formula locks in moisture and provides medium coverage with a natural finish that adapts to any skin color and texture. It's so blendable, you can't tell where your foundation ends and your skin begins. So let's see what let's put this to the test. Still have a little bit left on there. I'm gonna just press in what I have, and then just like yesterday, I will apply that remaining amount, which isn't too much, onto the sponge, and then push that even further into my skin. I am going to let that set in, and I am going to do the rest of my makeup, and I will be back to give you my initial impression. I just want to give it a second to sort of sink in. I'll do my eye makeup just like I did yesterday, leaving the face sort of alone, but I will set it with all of the same products. So I'll share those on the back end. But like I said, so far so good. Looks really nice. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I am back. Applied the rest of my makeup, and I set my face with the Huda Beauty setting powder, followed it up with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, used all the same face products, the L'Oreal bronzer and the Revlon blush. And I did my eyes today with the e.l.f. Cookies and Dreams. And this is not a new palette. You can get this at Walmart. I don't think you can get it on Amazon, but you can get it at Walmart. It came out maybe a year or so, maybe 2 years ago now. And this is a really, really nice palette. If you haven't seen my video on how to make your eyes pop and think about using different colors, this, I'm almost ready to hit pan on this one. It is a beautiful transition shade. This is a gorgeous shimmer that I just put in the top. This is a matte, a white matte. So this is just a really, really pretty palette. But on to the good stuff. So today's foundation was L'Oreal True Match, and I am in W4. So I gave you sort of the lowdown of what it claimed. And quite honestly, I think that this, after initial impression, I would give this a 9. It did not set into any of my fine lines and wrinkles. The coverage was exactly what it said it was going to be, medium coverage. And for me, this is just the perfect amount. Again, this comes in 47 different shades. It provides medium coverage with a natural finish, and I completely think that that is true. So I will see you in 8 hours to let you know how well this wore and what my 8-hour impression will be. So see you in 8 hours. Here we are after 8 hours of wear for the L'Oreal True Match Foundation. And went out for dinner tonight. I've been out in the elements, and I have to say, it really held up very nicely. So a little bit of separation here, but no settling into my fine lines and wrinkles. And the coverage is still pretty good. I haven't touched it up at all. I'm gonna give this a solid 8. I think it looks really good. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad I'm doing this little comparison because I have tried this before and I do like it, but now kind of seeing them side by side and ranking them after so many hours of wear, I like it. I think I'm gonna keep doing a few of these. This might be kind of interesting to do, like mascara, maybe lipstick. Yeah, solid 8. So very happy with the L'Oreal True Match. I will see you tomorrow for the Maybelline Fit Me Liquid Foundation. Hello and welcome to day 3 of my foundation challenge. Today we are going to be applying the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Liquid Foundation. And with the other products, I did 2 pumps. This does not have a pump. So I'm going to try to put about the same amount on my hand, the back of my hand, and we'll see how it goes. So here we have it. I did prime my face with the same things that I used for the other product or the other foundations, keeping everything very equal. I don't want to go too close to my under eye because I will be putting concealer on. Again, same products that I was using before. So this matte poreless foundation, it claims a natural looking medium coverage liquid foundation. It comes in 40 shades. You'll find a fit for every skin tone, best for normal to oily skin, refines pores for a natural looking matte finish. Now remember, I put that Whoa Glow on underneath, so that does have a little bit of a glow obviously to it, so it won't be as matte of a finish, but again, wanted to keep everything very equal. Still have some on the back of my hand here. A shade that fits me. Maybelline Fit Me Liquid Foundation provides a coverage for a wide array of skin tones from ivory to mocha. Use a full face foundation with buildable coverage for a flawless, natural looking, I woke up like this finish. So let's see how we do. This is in shade 120. It's available on Ulta's website for $8.99, but on Amazon, it is a bit cheaper. It's only $6.74. So a little bit of a savings there. Go in with my sponge and make sure that I'm pressing everything in, just like I did the other couple of days. I feel like after the very initial application, it is settling in a little bit. That's why I'm trying to push it in with this sponge. I don't want to move it around too much, so just pushing it in. But I'm going to give that a chance to sort of settle in to my face and then apply the rest of my face makeup and I will be back to let you know my initial impressions. Okay, I am back after finishing up my makeup and ready to give you my initial score on this Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me foundation. So it did a pretty good job of covering up. I would say that it is, in fact, a medium coverage, maybe medium to light, but definitely a medium coverage. It didn't settle into my fine lines and wrinkles, specifically up here. It didn't. I'm gonna give this, I'm gonna say a 7. I didn't like how it sort of settled in to my cheek area. It's not like it's fine lines and wrinkles, but it's just not real smooth. I don't know what other way to describe it. And it's just mainly in these cheek area. This seems okay, but it just settled just a little bit weird. And that was even before I set it with the Huda powder, setting powder. So I like it. There's nothing I hate about it. And the fact that it hasn't settled into my fine lines and wrinkles makes me happy. So we will see how it goes after 8 hours. Maybe a little bit of settling here. Yeah, like I said, I don't love it. I'm not sure I hate it, but I'm gonna give it a 7. So we'll see how it works after 8 hours. Okay, see you then. Okay, so I am back after 8 hours. Got a little bit of separation right here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not 100% sure that, I just don't think it's like a little patchy. It's definitely separating in my fine lines and wrinkles. And actually today I didn't have as much sun exposure, or I shouldn't even say sun exposure. I didn't have as much time outside in the humidity, so it should be better. And I didn't blow my nose as much. So, I don't know, guys. I think I'm gonna give it a 6, and it kind of pains me to do that. It just doesn't seem like it stayed as well. So I'm gonna give it a 6. I feel bad about that, but being honest, it's just not as full coverage as I would like. And it's settling into my lines, so okay, a 6. While I enjoyed all 3 foundations for really different reasons, I do have one I prefer. As a reminder, I do have normal to dry skin. I prefer medium coverage foundation, and I do have some fine lines and wrinkles that I hate. But before I get into my overall impressions, I am going to give a shameless plug for my company, More Research. We conduct thousands of interviews every year on a variety of topics, providing people with the opportunity to give their opinions about products and services that they buy and use. As a result of participating in our studies, we never sell anything. We're really only looking for your opinions. Many of the types of research projects that we conduct, typically we will give an incentive or a gift card of anywhere from $30 to $100, depending on the length of participation that we're requiring. So go to more-research.com and check it out. So here are the 3 foundations that I tried and the ratings I gave them, which you've all been watching, hopefully, so you've already heard what I like and what I don't like. But drum roll, please. The winner for this match is the L'Oreal True Match foundation. And it did exactly what it said it was going to do. It locked in moisture, it adapted to my skin color and texture nicely. It wore and performed the same after initial application as 8 hours later. I did have a little bit of a runny nose that day, so all three of them had a little problem around my nose, but available in 47 shades. I really loved this. In second place was the Revlon Illuminous, which was the most expensive out of the three, but I was disappointed in it. You know, it only has 28 shades available, and in today's competitive foundation market, Revlon, you need to offer a few more. It didn't provide the medium coverage that it claimed, but rather I would call it a light coverage. So if you like a light coverage and you can find a shade that matches your skin tone, it might be a really good fit for you. And then lastly, Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. You know, I was thinking that this was going to be the star of the show because I love the Maybelline Matte Poreless Powder. And so I was kind of thinking that it was going to be along those same lines, but it did settle a little bit too much. And, you know, I think it might be interesting to use this with that powder over top just to see how it would work. So this one I wasn't, really all gaga over. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, that you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Also check out more-research.com and consider being a product tester. And last but not least, leave a comment below if you've tried any of these foundations, what you thought of them, and if you have an upcoming video idea for a comparison, maybe mascara, maybe concealer, I don't know, lipstick. So leave me a comment below and let me know what comparison video you'd like to see coming up. So I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and I thank you so much for tuning in today.